Hi there, welcome to my channel. I'm Janine. This is my first foray into Friday Sews. And if you found me through the Friday Sews hashtag, on my channel I talk about sewing for a woman over 50 and what I'm experiencing trying to find personal style, fabric, patterns, fit, all of the things that go along with trying to create things that work for me for my life today. Several months ago, I mentioned on my channel that I wouldn't do Friday Sews, and somebody said to me, well, why not? And at the time, I had a perfectly legitimate excuse, and that's because I was working full-time and I just didn't have the time to commit to recording something every week. But things have changed, and I'm supposedly retired, and I have more time not only to record videos, but I also have more time to sew. And I've decided I'm not just going to go crazy sewing a bunch of stuff that I don't necessarily need or I won't wear, but I want to start working more on my skills and techniques and the craft of sewing. So I'm participating in 2 different sew-alongs during the winter, and I thought that Friday Sews would be a really great way for me to chronicle the projects, because I'm going to be putting a fair bit of time into one of them in particular. So I could look back and I could see what worked and what didn't work. And if you see things that are working or aren't working, you can comment on them. So I thought this would be a great time to become a member of the Friday Sews community. Friday Sews, if you are not familiar with Friday Sews, it was created by Jen of Today in Jen's Sewing Room, and it's a way for those of us in the sewing community to connect on a more frequent basis and maybe in a little more casual way, sharing what we're working on, our plans, our successes, and a little bit about life. And every week there is a prompt for a topic. Sometimes I'll participate in the prompt, sometimes I won't. And looking at this week's prompt, apparently they're going to be a little bit thought-provoking. So without further ado, let's jump right on in to Friday Sews for Friday, November 10th, 2023. This week's prompt was, what's your easiest make ever? This is not an easy question to answer, because there were things that I made when I was a kid that were super easy, probably because I didn't follow instructions and I just did whatever the hell I wanted, and they fell apart. But thinking back as an adult, I came up with 3 patterns. The first pattern, easiest make, that fit well and was a woven, is the Cashmerette Springfield tank. I bought that as a kit. I don't know if it was off Craftsy or something a few years ago. Followed the instructions, which were excellent because it's a Cashmerette pattern, and it fit perfectly. Well drafted, nice design. Took a little bit more time because there are more pieces to that top, but it looks nice, and I wound up making 3 different versions of it. Cashmerette Springfield, easiest make ever. But then I started looking back at my makes, and I have 2 other easiest makes ever, but they're knits. They're very similar. Easiest knit ever is the Deer and Doe Plantain Tee, and that's a free pattern, super simple, nice shaping. Similarly, Simplicity 8595 is a t-shirt dress. Another knit, goes together very well, nice shape. And for my figure, I really like it because it just hangs from the bust and it's got some drape. It doesn't cling, and that's always the concern with knits for me, is things that cling. So yeah, I'm not really answering the question clearly, but I have 3 easiest makes: Cashmerette Springfield, Deer and Doe Plantain, and Simplicity 8595. Interesting. Okay, so let's get into Friday Sews for today. Before I show you what I'm working on, I want to show you a couple of things that I picked up on our recent vacation. We took a cruise to Hawaii, and we didn't have a lot of time in Hawaii. We didn't stay afterwards, but one of the ports was Kailua Kona, And when we left the ship, there was the sign of places to go, things to do, and there was a quilt shop. So we had to go to the quilt shop. We didn't have anything planned. We were just going to walk around, so we had to go to the quilt shop. And it was called Quilt Passions. I'm going to put the link down below in the description box. I do not quilt, but I always figure that quilt shops might have some garment fabrics, and they didn't disappoint. So I wound up with 3 things. The first one is this. This is a quilting cotton, but it's a really pretty border print, and I'm going to use this to make probably a tunic top to wear over capris or jeans, white pants. And this would be something I wouldn't wear normally at home, but it would be something I would take on vacation. Then my husband started saying, well, I never get anything. And we found this knit. And he kind of liked this. He doesn't, when we lived in Florida, he had a lot of Florida type shirts. He doesn't have any of those anymore. But I'm going to make him a t-shirt out of this, and then he'll have kind of a holiday vacation top to wear. It's a nice, it's a poly, so nice knit. Prices were not bad at Quilt Passions. And then, as I said, I don't quilt, but they had some really cute quilt kits. Everything was already cut out, ready to go. And these are for mini quilts. I saw this one and I thought that this would be really pretty. Our guest room has a lot of stuff from vacations that we've taken, and it's all turquoise, and I've recorded a few videos in there, but it's very beachy colors. So I thought this would be really cute in there, this little mini quilt. And as I said, everything is pre-cut. All of the appliques, everything's ready to go. You can just iron them on. So this won't be a legitimate real quilt for those of you who quilt, but it's about as close as I'm going to get at this point. I have a big project I'm starting on. We have a meetup group here in Calgary, and when I asked people what they were interested in as part of the meetup group, a lot of people said they wanted to do a sew-along. So that's what we're doing. We're all going to be working on French jackets or Chanel style jackets from now through February. Anybody's welcome to join this. You don't have to be in Calgary. You don't have to be part of the meetup group. If you want to sew a French jacket and you want to be sewing alongside other people, join us. We've put a lot of information on the Calgary Sews webpage. That's linked down below. And if you want to participate, we're going to do it mostly, either it's in person or it's on Instagram. So just use the hashtag YYC SewAlong23. Somebody asked me the other day, what's YYC? That's Calgary's airport code. I don't know why we all use it. It's kind of a Canadian thing. So yeah, if you want to join, you can. I have been collecting French jacket patterns for a long time, so I had 5 to choose from. And the one that I'm going with is Vogue 7975. And one of the reasons why I picked this one is because one of our members, who is very experienced making French jackets, we actually have 2 members who both have made many, and they're beautiful, and they're amazing, and they've used unbelievable fabric from either Mendel Goldberg in New York or actual Linton tweed that they bought in the UK. But one of the women has used this pattern several times and says it's very good. So I'm planning to make this version, which is the open neck or open front with long sleeves. So the first step that we're working on right now is the toile, and after I finish this video today, I'm going to start with my toile. I'm going to cut it out. One of the members who has all the experience posted some videos on our Instagram page showing how she marks things, and she actually stitches her markings. She doesn't draw them. So I'm going to follow her process, and I'll be working on the toile this week. We have a meetup next weekend, and we're going to help each other with fitting. So that's what's going to be happening with that. Just working on the toile for now. Taking a breath. Not diving into fabric. I'm actually going to make a toile. I think I even have fabric. I might have to go buy some fabric for a toile. But so that's what I'm working on. That's the big project. I had planned to make this jacket years ago, and I bought fabric at Fabric Mart that I thought would be really cute, and I still think it would be really cute. But it's not really a winter fabric, and because it's still just November here, I need stuff that's going to keep me warm. But this is the original fabric I bought. This is a novelty weave from Fabric Mart. I think it's so sweet. I just love the colors of it. It just looks so classic and elegant. But I don't know. I even have lining, 2 different linings that would work under it. But I'm not sure, because this being my first effort, I thought that it might be better to try a solid fabric. So last weekend I did go out and pick up a piece of fabric here at Olga's Fabric Lane in Calgary. If you're in Calgary, Ingrid has really beautiful fabrics, and her prices are very good. So I picked up this wool blend, and this is likely what I'll use for the first effort. Really pretty mottled gray. And the reason why I think this is a better choice, number one, I really wanted to have a plaid or something, but there's nothing to match. There wouldn't be anything to match with this either, but nothing to match with this in terms of print on the fabric. But I also think that this will be much more utilitarian in the coming Canadian winter. So I don't have lining for this. I actually have a couple of pieces of silk in my stash that I've had for a long time. One of them might work, but for now I'm not going to worry about that. I've got to get through the 12 first, and then I'll decide which fabric to use. But likely going with this one. Who knows? I can change my mind, can't I? The other thing I'm going to be working on this weekend is something for my mom. She's very elderly, has dementia, and lives in a care home, and she's in a wheelchair. And she needs pants that have trousers, that have hip protection pads. I've never heard of this before. Apparently they really help protect people against hip fractures if they fall. So I brought home several pairs of her pants, and I'm going to go looking for pads, and I'm going to create pockets and sew them in so that she has more than one option for getting dressed every morning, because right now she just has one pair of pants that she can wear every day. So I'm going to work on that. This weekend is Remembrance Day here in Canada, and I think in the UK as well. I dug this out. Yes, I dug this out. This is a locket that my dad sent to his mother during World War II. My dad was in the Royal Canadian Navy. So this has been around for a long time. It's scary to think of how many years it's been. So that's what's going on. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next Friday. And now I'm going to go watch some Friday Sews video. Take care. I will see you soon. You want to say hello?